The second dynamic that adds to all this confusion is the cancel culture, right? I mean, if you say one thing I don't like, or if you say one thing I disagree with, I discount everything you've ever said, and I discount everything you've ever accomplished in your life, right? This isn't new. We just haven't had a phrase that captures this unfortunate dynamic before. And I've certainly been on the receiving end of the cancel culture. In fact, if I'm honest, I've been on the receiving end from some of you. I've gotten quite a few voicemails, emails, and actual letters to my home from longtime church attenders who are leaving or who are telling me they're leaving our churches because of our decision to suspend services for the remainder of the year. And whenever I get a voicemail or an email like that or a letter, I always ask my assistant Diane to track down a phone number. And I call almost all of the people who have responded, especially those of you who've been involved for a long time and raised your kids here and served here. I've called just about everybody that I can find the number for, and I listen. And in 100% of the cases, this is so interesting, and some of you are actually listening today or watching today, I hope. In 100% of the cases, once I call and convince them that it's actually me, they begin the conversation by telling me how much the church has meant to them and how much it's meant to their children. That one gentleman, when I finally convinced him it's really me, he immediately went into this amazing story, and these are his words, not mine, about how I saved his marriage. But now that I have bowed my knee to Caesar, since I refuse to take a stand, since I'm more concerned about being popular than calling people to repentance, they're out. After the message I did called This Human Race, you'll remember that. Same thing. Andy, clearly you have embraced a left-wing Marxist agenda, so we can no longer call this our church home. And so to all of these conversations, I respond with, okay, so let me get this straight. You've loved and served in and supported our church for, in many cases, 8, 9 years. And after one sermon, come on, after one sermon that you disagree with or took to mean something that based on our church history, I clearly did not mean, you're out. Now, the good thing is this, these conversations always end on a friendly note. And then I add, well, I guess this is a good time to leave our church, but it is a bit hard to leave a church that isn't meeting anyway. We chuckle, and then we hang up, and I hope they don't actually leave because I don't want anybody to leave our church.